So guys, have you heard of Artery gear fusion? Yeah, I thought so. It's literally been taking my life away. I mean, it has beautifully rendered live 2D animated waifus of the bodacious and thick variety. There's even more slender ladies for you weirdos. JK, of course. You've got your taste, even if it's wrong. Just saying. Anywho, what could there not be to like with this title? Too many waifus to pick between? I know, that's a struggle. Not enough party slots for your favorite characters? Also a conundrum. 'Tis a trying thing indeed to find out what truly is the problem with this game. But all jests aside, some people may be on the fence for whether or not they'd like to try out archery gear for themselves. Sometimes a game is not worth a download, as there's a plethora of mobile titles out there with pretty visuals. And no doubt you're playing a bunch of games already. I mean, who just plays one gacha game and says, nope, I'm done, not playing anymore, this is the only thing I'm going to be doing? Definitely not me. I have way too many I'm playing. What's life anyway? What's the clouds? What's the sky? What's the outside world? I don't know what those things are. I experience it sometimes when I take my dog out, but you know, that's just because he's adorable and he needs it. Anyway, moving on. So what does Artery gear do different to all of the other mobile titles out there? Or what does it do similarly, but with a new artistic flavor? To start, one can't help but focus on something that is, by far, one of the most stellar combat visuals I've seen in a pixelated 2D combat system on mobile. The animations, visual effects, and really everything else about it just makes you say, wow. Truly, I kept watching the combat and I was just in awe. There are few mobile titles out there that really shock you, especially when it comes to like battle visuals, and this is one of them. It's not just the ultimate skills, it's all of the skills the characters have. Of course, the higher star characters have better visuals, but even with the lower class ones, they're leaps and bounds better than most mobile titles out there, at least for its graphical style. You can really see they poured a lot into the combat, and it really shows. Speaking about the combat, it's turn-based, with you being able to pick one of 3 skills manually for each character deployed on the field, or if you would prefer to have the combat automated. Something very unique about the automated combat, however, is that you can set up individual tactics for your characters, so they'll use their skills in a specified order, allowing you to have more control over the battles than a default automated combat system, which I feel as though more mobile titles should really incorporate. It just gives a little bit more freedom, and it generally makes things more fun, if you're gonna have it automated. Returning to the characters themselves, Artery gear has a lot of skimpily clad sci-fi ladies. I mean, that's not a bad thing, of course. I do love me some sassy, half-clothed sci-fi waifus fighting epic battles against unbeatable odds. However, something that happens far too often is censorship within games. Well, I am happy to say for the most part there doesn't seem to be any censorship. The character portraits show what was originally designed by the artists. However, the in-game models do seem to be censored. It's a strange system, but it works. I'm not complaining, really. But yeah, it's nice to see that it's not censored, for the most part. So besides the beautifully designed live 2D characters and the amazing battle animations, what can Artery gear offer you, specifically? Well, besides what you would expect from a well-funded mobile title, you've got plenty of in-game modes to earn in-game items for upgrades and gear. You've got a supply vessel that handles the augmentation of gear. Then there's the mothership, which allows you to place your favorite waifus, where you can, observe them and see what they do or their animations. This place can also be decorated to a degree, and you can unlock more areas on the mothership as you go. So it's basically like other mobile titles is cafe or dorm rooms, depending on the game. Nothing too extreme, something we've seen before, but it's still nice to have. There's of course the main story to follow along. What game would it be without a story? And this story is surprisingly dark, which is always fun to participate through. The storytelling seems to be well paced and actually pretty decent. I enjoyed it. There's also plenty of events taking place within the game. As of posting this video, there's an Artery event going on, but this is of course just the start, and I'm sure there will be more collabs and more events. Lastly, there's the gacha rates, which is always an important thing within any gacha game. Nothing is worse than an unfair system. Looking at you, FGO. From multiple players' accounts, the rate is fair, generally being a 2.5% chance of a 5-star, which isn't bad. I was able to get this smexy beast first try. This isn't a flex, this is just sheer shock talking. I rarely get any good characters in any game. I'm loving her. I mean, just look at her. She's majestic, so smooth, so silky, so slashy. Perfection. She's literally my main girl. So, tallying all of this together, you'll find Artery Gear Fusion isn't much different from the atypical mobile titles you've probably played before or seen. But nevertheless, the execution of the same features feel fresh, at least to me. I could be getting blinded by the bright lights and sparkles, however, I really did enjoy playing it. That being said though, I'm unsure if I would currently drop any of the repertoire of games for this specific title, because the ones I've played, I've put too much time and effort into. It feels like this isn't enough to make me drop them. But what do you guys think? Would you drop any of the current games you're playing for Artery Gear Fusion? Or do you think it's any good? Or do you think it's bad? Let me know in the comment sections because I'd love to know what you guys think.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all hard work's gonna be worth it. Ooh,